news.
This just in, I'm Willie.
And I'm Billy.
And today, a hurricane is... What is wrong with this man?
He has Jacob syndrome.
So, Billy, what exactly is Jacob syndrome?
Willie, I have no idea.
That is what we are here for.
Jacob syndrome is actually called XYY syndrome. This genetic mutation occurs in about 0.1% of boys.
Most people have 46 chromosomes in their cell. Typically, males have one X and one Y chromosome. In this syndrome, males have one X chromosome and two Y chromosomes, making it XYY syndrome. Normally, a person has one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, but in this case, the male has an extra Y chromosome, so it's XYY.
So, mysterious science lady, who discovered this XYY/Jacob syndrome?
In 1961, Sandberg and his co-workers discovered it.
Oh.
So since Science Lady 1 told us who discovered it, who's doing current research on it now?
Many organizations are doing current research. One example would be the NIH, the National Institute of Health.
What kind of research?
Well, since there's no cure for it, all they can do is just try to explain what it is.
Good to know.
So, science ladies, now that we know how and who discovered it, how common is this disorder? Does every man have it? Like, do we have it?
About 1 in 1,000 boys have this disorder.
Good thing we're girls.
Now that we figured out how common it is, how do we know that we don't have it?
So what are the signs and symptoms?
One of these symptoms in a young child or teenager could be autism. Also, attention difficulties.
Hey, so today we were like making this video and, hey, are you listening to me?
Another symptom is delayed motor skill development, such as writing.
What?
Another symptom is delayed or difficult speech.
How was your day?
Well, it was pretty good. How was yours?
It also includes emotional or behavioral issues.
Hey, Jacob, how are you?
My pumpkin's so ugly. I don't like it.
It also includes the male being very tall.
Symptoms also include hand trembling or involuntary muscle movements.
I'm so sorry.
Another symptom is weak muscle tone.
Another symptom includes learning disabilities.
What's 9 plus 10?
20, man.
So what exactly happens in meiosis that creates XYY?
So it starts off as XXYY. And then when it splits up, it goes into XX and YY. Then the X's divide and go to two single X's. But then the Y's, they stay together and just create one big sperm cell with two Y's.
Oh, I understand.
So, now that we know what happens in meiosis, what happens in the metaphase part?
Okay, so in the cell, you have an example would be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and a YY. So normally they split up and go to each side, but when there's Y's, they just go to one side and they don't split up.
I see. So now that we know how XYY syndrome is made and what it exactly is, as a scientist you may know things that might be similar to XYY syndrome, but me, I do not. So how is it diagnosed and how do they know it is exactly XYY syndrome?
So a diagnosis of XYY syndrome is made based upon a thorough clinical evaluation, a detailed patient history, and specialized tests. A diagnosis of XYY syndrome can be made before birth through amniocentesis or chorionic villus sampling, also known as CVS. Clinical testing and workup could be speech and language assessment during the first 24 months. Reading assessments should occur by age to rule out dyslexia.
So, how do you treat this rare disorder?
Well, since it's impossible to correct every sex chromosome in our bodies, there is no treatment for XYY syndrome. However, a person with XYY syndrome can get help with any learning or development delays through speech therapy, occupational therapy, or other assistance. Also, in most cases, people with XYY syndrome respond well to intervention and treatment, and many issues improve within a few years.
Since we know what XYY syndrome is now, we thought we'd share a story about someone that has been affected by XYY syndrome. This story is a mother talking about her son.
She stated that one day when she picked him up from school, she had a new haircut. Once he saw her, he started to bust into tears and called her ugly.
She said that if she would have walked into his room on fire, he would have asked if he could watch TV.
She also began to notice that his learning abilities and his speech began to slow.
The woman's 18-week pregnancy went well. The ultrasound showed that her baby had a hole in his heart and a lump on his brain.
These are called soft signs. If they found more than one, then they would need to investigate.
The doctors took a blood sample from the baby's livers, and it later showed that he had XYY.
The doctors then explained to her that her son would be taller than average and would be emotionally immature.
Jacob syndrome. What's that? XYY is in a guy. Add the extra chromosome makes you wanna wreck a home. When the Y's don't split, you may wanna hit. You'll be behind bars and not damaging cars. I might make you cry, at least you won't die. You'll be like Bigfoot, bigger than a mountain. But wait, at least you're not shorter than a fountain. Your muscle tone may be weak, but our rap game's strong. You just got slammed by Jacob syndrome. Word. Willie? You're a girl?